7 animal mysteries that sound fake but are real. Nature has a funny way of hiding its best tricks in plain sight. We look at a cat, a jellyfish, a crow, or an elephant, and our brain says familiar, ordinary. I know what that is. But the closer scientists look, the stranger the world becomes. In the next few minutes, we are going to move through 7 true animal mysteries. Creatures that sleep without a brain, taste the world differently than we do, think with body parts, pause their own lives, listen through the ground, sense electricity, and remember human faces for years. This is not fantasy. It is biology doing what biology does best, solving impossible problems with quiet, elegant designs. Mystery 1, the jellyfish that can sleep without a brain. Sleep feels like something a brain should need. We think of sleep as the moment when a mind powers down, cleans itself up, and resets for another day. But some jellyfish complicate that simple picture. The upside-down jellyfish, called Cassiopeia, has no central brain like ours. It has a nerve net, a loose web of signals spread through its body. Still, researchers have observed behavior that looks a lot like sleep. At night, its pulsing slows down, it becomes less responsive, and if it is disturbed during that quiet period, it appears to make up for the lost rest later. That matters because it suggests sleep is older than the kind of brains we usually imagine. It may not have started as a luxury for complex animals. It may be one of life's oldest maintenance systems, a rhythm built into living tissue long before animals became complicated. So when you see a jellyfish drifting like a living lantern, remember this: it may not have a brain, but it still keeps time. Mystery 2, cats live in a world without sweetness. Cats can hear tiny movements, they can see well in dim light. They can judge distance with remarkable precision, but in one surprising way, their world is smaller than ours. Domestic cats, lions, tigers, and many other cats cannot taste sweetness the way humans do. The reason is genetic. One of the genes involved in building the sweet taste receptor became disabled in their evolutionary past. For an animal built to be an efficient meat eater, sugar was not very important. Meat does not need to taste sweet to be useful, so over time the ability faded. A cat may be curious about ice cream, frosting, or fruit, but it is usually responding to fat, smell, texture, temperature, or simple curiosity, not to sweetness itself. This changes how we imagine the animal sitting across the room. Your cat is not just a smaller person with whiskers. It is living inside a different sensory universe. The same kitchen, the same bowl, the same treat, but a different reality. Mystery 3, an octopus does not keep all of its thinking in one place. If a human wants to pick something up, the brain sends commands through the body. The body obeys. An octopus works differently. A large share of an octopus's neurons are not in the central brain. They are distributed through the arms. Each arm can explore, taste, grip, and react with a surprising amount of independence. The central brain is still important, but it is not micromanaging every motion. That is why an octopus can look so fluid and alien. Its arms are not just ropes being pulled by one command center. They are active sensing tools, each gathering information and helping solve the problem in front of the animal. Imagine if your hand could taste the table, decide where to grip, and begin exploring before your conscious mind finished the sentence. That is the kind of distributed intelligence the octopus hints at. It reminds us that intelligence does not have to be shaped like ours. Nature can build a mind as a network, not a throne room. Mystery 4. Tardigrades can pause their lives. Tardigrades are tiny animals, often called water bears, and they look almost charming under a microscope. But their survival skills are extreme. When conditions become dangerous, some tardigrades can enter a state called cryptobiosis. They lose most of the water in their bodies, curl into a dry form called a ton, and slow their metabolism to nearly nothing. In that state, they can survive conditions that would destroy most animals: intense cold, severe dryness, high pressure, radiation, and even exposure to space in experiments. This does not mean tardigrades are immortal. They can die. They need the right conditions to recover. But the trick is still astonishing. They are not defeating danger by running away from it. They are waiting it out by turning life down to the faintest possible setting. For us, time moves forward relentlessly. For a tardigrade in cryptobiosis, time becomes something closer to a locked door. When water returns, the door can open again. Mystery 5. Elephants can listen through their feet. Elephants are famous for their ears, and for good reason. But some of their most interesting listening happens lower down. Elephants produce deep, low-frequency calls that can travel long distances. Some of those vibrations move through the air. Some can also pass through the ground. Elephants are sensitive to these signals, and their feet and bones may help them detect vibrations moving through the earth. Picture an elephant standing still on a wide plain. To us, it may look silent. But through the ground, that animal may be receiving information from far away. The movement of other elephants, distant calls, or changes in the environment. The world is not just sound in the air. It is vibration through matter. Elephants remind us that communication can travel below the level of human attention. Mystery 6. Sharks can sense electricity. A shark's face is dotted with tiny pores connected to special organs called ampullae of Lorenzini. These organs detect extremely weak electric fields. Every living animal produces tiny electrical signals. Muscles move because of electrical activity. Hearts beat because of electrical activity. Even a hidden fish buried in sand can give off clues. A shark can use those signals to find prey at close range, especially when sight or smell is not enough. This ability can sound almost supernatural, but it is physical. The ocean is a conductive environment, and sharks evolved instruments sensitive enough to read faint disturbances inside it. To a shark, the sea is not only color, pressure, scent, and motion. It is also a field of sparks too subtle for us to feel. Where we see empty water, a shark may sense a map. Mystery 7. Crows can remember faces. Crows are not just clever in a vague way. They can solve problems, use tools, learn from each other, and remember. In studies, crows have shown the ability to recognize specific human faces, especially faces associated with danger. Even more impressive, that information can spread. Birds that were never directly trapped or threatened can learn to react to the same face by watching other crows. This makes crow intelligence social. Memory does not stay locked inside one animal. It can move through a group, almost like local knowledge. For humans, that is a humbling thought. We often assume we are the ones observing nature, naming it, measuring it, and filing it away. But sometimes nature is observing us right back. The final mystery is not about one animal. It is about all of them. Every creature in this video lives inside a world that overlaps with ours, but is not identical to ours. The jellyfish follows ancient rhythms without a central brain. The cat eats beside us but cannot taste sweetness. The octopus spreads intelligence through its arms. The tardigrade waits at the edge of life. The elephant listens through the ground. The shark reads electricity. The crow remembers a face and teaches the warning to others. These are not random tricks. They are answers. Each one is a solution shaped by pressure, time, and survival. And the best part is that the list is nowhere near finished. Bats paint rooms with sound. Bees see patterns in ultraviolet light. Mantis shrimp have visual systems so complex they almost feel invented. Dogs read smell like history. Whales send songs across dark water. The more we learn, the less ordinary the ordinary world becomes. So the next time an animal seems simple, pause for a second. Ask what part of reality it can sense that you cannot. Ask what problem its body has solved. Ask what hidden intelligence is moving under the surface. Because nature is not quiet because it has nothing to say. It is quiet because we are only beginning to learn how to listen.